Can I just give you 4 levels, or I would call them steps, 4 steps of generosity, because this is how I observe it happening. Can we put them up there? The first one is a compassionate giving. This is somebody that goes from, I don't give anything, to this where they go, I see a need. Whether it's refugees, which we did 89 refugee packs for refugee families in Chicagoland. That was amazing. You did that. We had over 1,200 backpacks that went out to kids that needed backpacks. You've done 1.5 million Celebration of Hope. You guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about these. But they'll see a need and they'll go, something will stir in their heart, and they'll say, I want to give to that thing. And there'll be a joy that comes from that. Some people, for the very first time, will go, wow, I've never given to do something like that. And they'll see the result, and there'll just be this joy in their heart. So much so that they go, I want more of that. And so instead of their giving being sporadic, or instead of their giving being, I've got a few in response to just a need, or instead of their need or giving being because they have a few extra dollars at the end of the month, they move into the second step of giving, which I would call consistent giving, or a consistent giver. And this is somebody that says, I want that joy of giving, I want that priority of giving to be in my life on a regular basis. And so they'll say, hey, I want to sponsor a kid at a certain dollar amount a month. Or they'll say, they'll sign up at church and they'll say, we're going to give $100 a month or something like that to church. And they'll do those things because they know, just like their value, they want their cell phone, they want their Netflix, they want their car payments, all those things are priority important. They say, I want giving to be important in my life as well. And so people will move from this compassionate, sporadic kind of giving to this consistent giving. And then, and now this might blow some of you away, especially if you're new. There are hundreds of families, thousands of families in this church that are sitting around you that actually give 10% of their income to this church. Can you believe that? 10%. Now, I've called this Christ first giving, because these are folks that have said, I'm all in with Jesus, and these are folks that have looked at Scripture in the Old Testament and the New Testament and said, you know what? There was a spiritual practice in the Old Testament where people would give 10% as a way to say, God, you are first priority in my life. And so there are people that have chosen to say, I want to put Christ first in my life, make him the Lord over every area of my life. And so they've adopted this practice of tithing. And I'll tell you this, my wife and I, we grew up in church, and so this was a part of sort of the teaching and the culture of our church. And so it was really easy for us when we started as a young married couple. Are we going to tithe? Yes. Now that decision was easy. The follow-through was not. Because we didn't make a lot of money back then at all. I mean, I was waiting tables. She was working, a part-time job. But we still gave 10% away. And I'm telling you what, it was a really valuable time in our lives because there were months where it didn't add up. You give first, and then whatever's left over is what we were living on. And there were times where we would go, wow, I don't know if this is going to add up. And yet every month, man, we never missed a meal. We saw God show up in amazing ways. God has always been faithful. And that has been a story that has been repeated many, many, many times. And some of the people around you that are tithers would kind of be doing this with me. And I just want to say, if that's where you're at as a giver, can I just say thank you so much. We would not be able to do what we do at this church without your faithfully putting Jesus first in that way. So thank you so much.